Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope everybody's doing well wherever you are in the world. Hope this pandemic hasn't affected you too badly, either directly or indirectly. And that you're maintaining mental sanity, physical health through this whole thing. Obviously, I'm not going to make any sports predictions because, in case you haven't noticed, there haven't been any sports going on for a long time now. And it's going to be a lot longer if what they're saying is true. But I just wanted to make a video and kind of see how people are doing, see what people are doing to stay sane during this whole thing, see how it's been treating people. As I mentioned, I'm at my parents' place in New York City, and you've probably heard it's a little crazy here. I haven't seen a whole lot of it. You know, I see people out and about in the neighborhood when I go for groceries every so often, but most of what I've seen is on the news, and it looks like it's getting pretty gnarly, especially in some areas. But yeah, it's been kind of funny because I haven't lived here for a long time, but I've been compelled to stay because of the whole lockdown, quarantine, New York on pause, whatever you want to call it, that's been happening. And I gotta say, at least for my part, it hasn't been too bad because I have a little routine going now. Like, sports being away is not as disastrous and nightmarish as I thought it would be. I've gotten back to some language study that I hadn't, let's say I hadn't been paying attention to for a while. My mom has some Russian vocabulary books that I've been taking a look at every day, leafing through, you know, going through the letters and stuff like that, remembering words. I hadn't studied Russian since college, since before this quarantine started. So I've been getting back to that. I've been watching more Portuguese videos on YouTube. As before, I watch the Spanish news every day. I want to try and become what I can reasonably call a multilingual one day, because a criticism that's justifiably leveled at Americans oftentimes is that we don't speak any other languages than English well. So I'm going to do what I can to change that. And aside from that, I've just been trying to drink a little less, to eat a little healthier. I've been doing intermittent fasting. But enough about me. Like, how's quarantine going for you guys? Have you guys made any changes? Have you guys been thinking? Has this pandemic made you think a little bit about things you could have done differently, you could do differently in the future? Because it's made me think about a lot of that. It's not really things that I haven't thought of before, but it's really sort of a wake-up call, right? Because certain conditions that are not preventable are risk factors for COVID, from what they say. But certain factors that they mention as risk factors for COVID-19 are certainly preventable. Obesity, smoking, I mean, right there. Things caused by smoking, emphysema, heart conditions, which are... The whole immune system is weakened if you're like obese or otherwise unhealthy. I, for one, am a type 1 diabetic. I couldn't help that. From everything doctors, scientists, whatnot have told me, that's genetic. But type 2 diabetics, I'm told that's often caused by an unhealthy lifestyle, maybe a little genetic input as well. My sister is also a type 1 diabetic, and as far as I know, she's been trying to eat healthier, cook meals for her family during this whole thing. And to me, it's all about trying to pull some good out of this, right? To just pull some good out of this, right? Because a lot of bad stuff is happening out there. A lot of bad stuff. You watch news, especially network news. Ugh, oh man, you'd think the world is ending tomorrow. You know, they only tell you about the deaths, right? They might mention for a second that there's people recovering, right? Stories of, you know, people's fevers going down, leaving the hospital. They might dedicate a few seconds to that, but they're mostly going to tell you about who died. So I've been trying to limit my consumption of news and select my sources carefully. You know, I watch a little bit, read a little bit here and there, but you got to be careful with that stuff. But anyway, I want to know, how's quarantine been going for you guys? How is this making you think and act differently? If it is, you know, maybe you had a good head on your shoulders before, maybe you had great habits before. But I don't know. I just wanted to put this video out because I haven't made a video in a while and ask you guys how life is different in quarantine and how you suspect life might be different going forward. Get at me, comment section. I'll put this on my YouTube page too. Yeah, hope everybody's doing well. Peace.